Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to, I guess, 2024. I'm putting this together on the final day of 2023, but it'll be out on January 1st. I hope you're all having a great day today. We kick off the new year with Richmond Raceway, as well as the start of the Busch Light Bracket Challenge here in the NASCAR Cup Series, where the top 32 full-time drivers in points are all seated against one another, with, of course, the top driver in points going against the bottom driver in the points, so on and so forth. That leads to pairings of Kyle Larson versus Josh Berry, Byron versus Haley, Elliott versus Priest, Owen versus Gilliland, Truex Stenhouse, Bell, Briscoe, Busher, Jones, Chastain, Hemrick, Hamlin versus Austin Dillon, Logano v. Hocevar, Keselowski versus Nemechek, Reddick versus Kyle Busch, McDowell, Bubba Wallace, Gibbs, Suarez, LaJoy, Cindric, and finally Alex Bowman going head-to-head with AJ Allmendinger. The rules are simple. It's a knockout style playoff almost, basically, and of course whoever beats each other in the pairing each race moves on to the next bracket, goes against a new driver. It's a 5-race span of course this bracket kind of system, and over 100 viewers actually made a bracket before the deadline, which is awesome to see. We'll see who maybe gets it all right or who gets closest. I think it's going to be hard to get it accurate because, you know, no matter how good someone might be in NASCAR Heat 5, there's always, you know, a potential random tire failure, engine issue that could take, say, a top seed like Kyle Larson out tonight and absolutely ruin a bunch of brackets. You got to keep the unpredictability of this game in mind, and that's a great problem to have. But I'm going up against Todd Gilliland, the winner of the bracket challenge. The driver that actually wins the bracket gets $3 million. So we'll see what driver can come out on top. Hopefully it's us here. But qualifying here in Richmond, the second time, of course, at Richmond this season here in the final 5 races of the regular season that are now underway through 3 and 4, right down on that inside, open the wheel up on the exit of 4 to the line. We beat the goal by about 1/10 of a second. That puts us P18 for the Federated Auto Parts 400 here from Richmond. So, you know, average, not great, not bad at the same time. Here's you see the qualifying order. Reddick down there in 30th, Zane Smith down in 40th in the 12 car, his teammate of Cindric only in 39th. Penske Racing looking awful outside of Joey Logano, who at least manages a decent effort inside the top 5. Busher, Elliott, the front row. Let's get ready to go racing.
The final 5 races of the regular season kick off today, and so does an exciting new challenge to the Cup Series. The Busch Light Bracket Challenge kicks off in a single race elimination style format, where the champion will be crowned $3 million at the end of Daytona.
NASCAR needs something like this, Rick, and they finally listened to Denny Hamlin and made this a reality. I'm excited to see what drivers are willing to do in these coming weeks.
And don't forget, there is drivers fighting to get into the playoffs still as well. These next 5 races are going to be crazy.
All right, guys, just keep me updated on the 38 car tonight, and make sure we beat him.
Yep, 10-4. I will let you know.
We will be looking at the updated bracket at the end of the episode, by the way, so you'll be able to see that there, and we'll see any surprise knockouts in the first round of 5 as we get ready to roll. Zane Smith starting from the back, filling in for Ryan Blaney, of course, as he will not be returning until the start of the playoffs. Kyle Busch failed pre-race inspection. He'll be starting from the back now, of course, really a must-win scenario for him, and there's been some rumors floating around about Kyle Busch that we need to stay tuned on in the coming weeks now, as we are getting ready to roll here from Richmond Raceway now, as the green flag is out and Chris Buescher leads away on the run down towards turn number 1. Chastain, Larson side by side in front of us here now as they go through 1. Nemechek up the inside, 3 wide already on the exit of turn 2, and he's already gained a few positions now as we continue down this back straight away here. Surprising to see the names of Chastain and Larson this far back. Earlier in the season when we came to Richmond, we saw Denny Hamlin pick up the victory on an overtime restart, and he actually got it against his teammate of Martin Truex Jr., who he made an aggressive move up the inside, of course. And as you guys know by now, we are slated to go into that 19 car next season. And speaking of maybe silly season, well, out in the news this week was actually the Roush Fenway Keselowski team. That's right, Roush Fenway Keselowski has purchased one of the Stewart-Haas charters, and that means that they will be bringing Justin Haley on as a 3rd full-time driver going into the next season. Obviously, that means Rick Ware Racing's losing Haley after just 1 season. Don't be surprised if one of the Stewart-Haas drivers end up there in place of him. But yeah, there's the news out. Roush Fenway Keselowski purchases one of the 2 charters from Stewart-Haas Racing as they downscale to a 2-car team, and they will be now a 3rd car in that lineup, in that team stable for full-time racing, with Justin Haley, Keselowski, and Buescher will be continuing on the other 2 cars. So still one more charter up for grabs. I'm hearing a potential new team has interest in joining the sport going into next season. We had a new team come in this season, of course, with the Andretti Global team. They kicked things off with a bang in the Daytona 500 and LaJoie's victory there. Other than that, you know, they've been pretty midfield, which is kind of expected from a new team in the Cup Series. Now, as for me, progress has not been good here in Stage 1. Only 16 laps in this first and opening stage, and we've gone backwards. We're down in 22nd place here. Not happy with the car. The problem that I was finding as we go 3 wide with Larson as well as Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon going up against Denny Hamlin in the first round of this bracket challenge, but the car was too loose. I was definitely in need of tightening up this car. Chase Elliott out in front. It's been a minute since we've seen him go to victory lane. Thank goodness, of course. 5 wins on the season. The only Hendrick Motorsports driver with a win. You know, 5 wins for the team. That's great, but it's only been one of the 4 drivers here as I overshoot turn 3 with a couple laps to go on the stage. Hemrick, my teammate up the inside, takes a position. He's up into P20. Larson all the way down in P21 here now as we start the final lap. We'll go 3 wide up the inside of Larson, and Reddick just can't open up the throttle though, so we really had to just back out of it, hang on to P22. Elliott's already crossed the line. Elliott wins stage number 1. Priest looks up my inside, but thankfully 10th place crosses the line there, end stage number 1. But yeah, I mean, the big goal here is we're going to come in, we're going to tighten up this car because that's the main thing right now. Of course, there's 2 objectives: run well and then as well beat the 38 of Todd Gilliland to move on towards the $3 million prize of the bracket challenge. And right now we are successful in beating the 38, but you can see we go way up on the wedge to a 50.3. Honestly, I was surprised it was as low as it was, as I was only running preset 4 for this race here. My teammate of AJ Allmendinger having a good run right now, up in the 3rd position. Alex Bowman up there in the top 5 having another good day. Bowman has kind of picked things up recently here. Is it going to be enough to save his ride? He's in a must-win, basically, to save his ride at Hendrick Motorsports, I would say, because he needs to make the playoffs. So we'll see what he can do now as we are underway in stage 2. A lot more laps this time. I kind of forced Ty Gibbs' hand there to back out. Josh Berry on my outside. We are starting to see some improvements from Stewart-Haas Racing. We've started to see Berry up here a little bit more. We started to see Ryan Preece up here flirting in the top 20 a bit more consistently. But yeah, it's going to be hard for them to, of course, finish out the season on a high note. Alex Bowman to the lead in Richmond. 37 laps in stage 2. A lot of racing stage 3, very similar length, as we're now into the top 20 up the inside of Daniel Suarez. 3 wide in front of us. Christopher Bell, he's been so hot lately. Of course, with another win recently, now 3 wins on the season. He is getting hot at the exact opposite time as he did last season. I think that's a good sign of things to come for Christopher Bell, but not quite what you want to see from him tonight. Toyota, who was dominant last episode in Pocono, it feels like the exact opposite tonight. We see them back here instead. Look at around us. Nemechek, Gibbs right there. Bell not far up the road. Truex is struggling quite hard as well. So yeah, definitely not Toyota's night exactly, but we'll see how they can finish this night. Up the inside, though, for 17th of John Hunter Nemechek on the run down towards turn 1. We would continue up his inside through 3 and 4 the next lap, but actually overshoot the entrance, and that opened the door for Austin Dillon to slip through, and he's going to take the position. Now out in front, it's no longer Alex Bowman. It's the one of Ross the Boss Chastain out front here, looking for his 4th win on the season there, really leaning on that quarter panel of Dillon there as we dive down into the corner again, just really struggling to get this car down on that yellow line a lot here. Now, we did tighten it up quite a bit, but overall it seems to me making a significant improvement, because after we pass the 3 of Dillon, I mean, we're now working on our teammate of AJ Allmendinger for the 16th position. Pressure now from behind. That's the 24 of Byron, who's right on my back bumper on the exit of 4. We're going to pass the 13 of Allmendinger, take P16. Next up, our teammate of Daniel Hemrick, and we would run him down as well. And now look up the inside. In just 10 laps, we've started to really turn this race around for us under the lights here in Richmond now. Chastain continues to lead as we lean out the door of the 13 on the exit of turn 4, and there's a crash into turn 1. That's Todd Gilliland around. That's the driver we're going against in the bracket challenge. He comes back across the nose of the 12 of Smith and the 21 of Eric Almirola as well. The caution flies, and there you have it. Everybody staying out because we can all make it to the end of the stage on feel. I did not really want to give up track position. I was happy with where we are. Shout out to the 62 Wendy's machine. Noah Gregson having a top 15 run in a team that only runs, a handful of races per season, really showing that, he might be worthy of a Cup Series ride full time again in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Now that we're back underway though, down into turn 1, up the inside of Truex, trying to follow that Ream machine with a dream of Christopher Bell. That was a really cringy rhyme. I really do apologize. That's not how I wanted to start 2024. I was making you all cringe. 3 wide in the background, maybe 4 wide. It is 4 wide briefly as we are on the door of the 19 of Truex, up to now P12, a good restart. Chastain out in front here now. Logano's up there in the mix as well, and of course he is in the playoffs, but he's been winless all season long here now. Up the inside of the 6 of Keselowski now into turn number 3. He is going up against John Hunter Nemechek actually in the bracket challenge here tonight now as we hit 21 laps to go in the stage. Still plenty of racing to go in this opening or second stage, sorry. Up the inside now, Bubba Wallace. I love to run high on this circuit here now. Maybe if dynamic tracks were a thing, that could work, but obviously that does not exist in NASCAR Heat 5, as you can see. Really tight on the exit of 4. That opened the door for the 34 to slip up the inside. He'll go and take the position now as Byron puts some pressure on from behind, and he would actually continue to put pressure on to the point where he got to my inside. He's going to go for the overtake. Joey Logano now to the lead over Chastain as well, actually. So the 22 out in front, but Chastain would eventually get it back a few moments later here now on lap 22 of the second stage as we continue to run right in this group of cars right here on the exit of turn 2. Smoke up ahead. Everyone scatters across the track. It's the 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott with problems of mechanical failure there. He slides with contact from the 43. We split the gap 4 wide. He stays on the track. He doesn't pit. He had the opportunity to, and he didn't take it. But if you chose Chase Elliott in your bracket, oh, I feel bad for you, because Elliott is going to have an early first round exit in the Busch Light bracket challenge. Heartbreaking there for him and for anybody that put their marbles in on the 9 like I did. My bracket's already over because the 9 is going to be out of the race. He's going to be credited with a 40th place result in Richmond. Elliott officially out early in the Busch Light bracket. We continue on, however, and I mean, we benefited quite hard. We got up to P10 out of that mess. Bowman back out in front actually here. Here comes Noah Gregson passing me, and he would continue his way forward, but Logano actually back out in front of the lead. We're seeing the lead swap around quite a bit, but Logano would kind of take a bit of a hold here late in this stage. As you can see, I gave the 43 a bit of a tap on the entrance to turn 1, and we're able to pass him on the exit there. That was probably a little bit too aggressive. I was really wanting to get into the top 10 and try to get a stage point out of it as we continue on straight to the final lap of the stage because nothing changed. Logano wins stage number 2 here in Richmond. We dive down into 3 and 4 for the final time. Reddick, up the road there at P9, of course, in that bubble battle right now against Michael McDowell as well as Ty Gibbs to get into the playoffs there. P10 for us in stage number 2. Ty Gibbs basically virtually in the exact same spot as he was last season, where he's going to come down to the very end of that regular season to get into the playoffs there. As you can see, Noah Gregson, P7, Bubba Wallace up to P5, McDowell having a great run in 4th place as well. Austin Dillon there in P11 here as we're going to come in to the pits here. Make some tire pressure changes, 4 tires as well, and some slight adjustments, all around. One surprise that we've already seen is Elliott's going to lose in the first bracket, but Denny Hamlin right now is being beat by Austin Dillon in his bracket, so that's really interesting if Dillon can get the best of him today, but let's find out. The green flag's back out. We restart from P10 in now 40 laps remaining, of course, in Richmond as we dive down into turn 1. Logano, your stage 2 winner. Up the inside, though, was Austin Dillon of myself and Reddick. He forced a 3-wide aggression out of that number 3, a must-win scenario. It's been a terrible season for Richard Childress Racing, and it's not anything to do with the driver. drivers. It's quite simply their cars haven't been good. And Kyle Busch, of course, won multiple races last season in real life for 2023, but as well in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. This season has been a complete disaster for that whole team, and Kyle Busch is looking for, a way out of that team. And I'm hearing he's probably going to be successful, and I think he might actually turn out to get a very nice opportunity. All I'm saying is Busch may be in the house very soon. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And all I can say as well on top of that, Daniel Suarez needs to step it up quick now, and he's actually having a fairly decent night here in Richmond, so watch out for that 99 UPS machine as he's trying to move forward late in the showing, as we're three wide, or sorry, not three wide, but battling with the three of us colleague cars there of my teammates of Allmendinger and Hemrick. We ran pretty close together last episode in Pocono, and now we're running really close together again tonight. But look at that rear view mirror. New leader, by the way, Chastain. Bowman's dropped all the way down to P11, but Suarez is slicing through the field. Logano, however, would take the lead back from Chastain as I got forced three wide. I am really struggling in these opening laps of stage 3. The 17, the 99, the 13, the 31, they all passed me in just a matter of seconds right there. I think we've gone the wrong way with those adjustments at the end of stage 2, because yeah, it's just not working right now. We're down to P15. We ran top 10 at the end of stage 2. We made a huge rebound after, of course, being outside of the top 20 in stage number 1. But yeah, right now we've definitely gone backwards. We're not as bad as we were in stage 1, but yeah, I mean, we definitely need to turn things around here, and it wasn't happening. Here comes now my inside. That's the 41 of Ryan Parisi side by side. 29 to go. New leader again. It's the 24 car of William Byron now out in front. Another driver looking for their first win. We've seen 3 drivers looking for the first win this season out in front tonight. Byron, Logano, as well as Alex Bowman. Here comes Kyle Larson now with 25 to go up my inside. He has had a terrible, terrible night, but he is turning things around. He's got an easy bracket, of course. He's the top seed. He's going against the bottom seed of Josh Berry now, and he is going to continue to drive away from that 4 cars. I go up the inside of Priest, coming to 23 to go. We'll clear him. He starts to go backwards now, as he's also going to get passed by my teammate of Hemrick and others. But passing Hemrick was the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek here. 20 laps coming to 19 to go. Byron continues to lead the race, but there's a crash down the back straightaway. This is in front of the leaders, actually. Stenhouse around. The caution will fly, and you can see contact there with the 3 as well as the 45, and that is another driver who's going to go down in the bracket challenge. We're going to come in and take 2 tires and half a can of fuel. The same call we made last episode, which will give up track position. Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace do the same thing. It did not work in Pocono like I had hoped, but I wanted to try it again because Richmond tire wear can be quite a big deal. So Larson, Bubba Wallace, and myself all tried 2 tires, while everybody else with 15 laps to go has no fresh tires at all. Byron leads the way into turn 1. A big stack up immediately. Logano's on the inside of row 2. He's going to try and get clear and try to get, of course, on the back of that 24 and maybe pass him here now as we go up the inside of Riley Herbst, having another respectable run. He had a solid run last episode as well in Pocono, and here he is again running in the top 25 for Rick Ware Racing. Byron right now continues to lead across the stripe, 13 to go, and now we're going to try and put those tires to work. Logano to the lead. Byron loses it. Logano out in front looking for that first win this season. We're 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Priest, Hemrick as well. P21 as we continue on, though. You can see in the distance Bubba Wallace is battling with Kyle Larson. We're on the inside of Priest and Martin Truex Jr. as well. We talked about Toyota just not having a great night after absolute dominance in Pocono, and Truex is certainly putting that on showcase. 4 wide behind us briefly there with Kozlowski, Priest, Hemrick, and Truex to get it sorted out without issue. Logano continues to lead with 10 to go. We continue to move forward, but not as quick as I was hoping again, and it's looking like that this, the 2-tire call is really only going to get us to basically where we were when the caution came out. So it's not like we failed, but we did not succeed at the same time. It's just it just put us on equal ground. So up the inside now of Allmendinger on the exit of 2 with 8 to go. We're going to be able to pass him, but hold on, we overshoot the corner, wash up the track. That opens the door for my other teammate. So we pass a teammate, another teammate up my inside. That's Hemrick going for the position, so we'll drop down to P17 briefly. We'll slide back in behind him, but I'm confident we can still pass him. Actually, a little bit of a shot to the rear bumper of the 31, getting him sideways. I could have passed him, but after hitting a teammate like that, I've learned after our altercation situation with Justin Haley last season at New Hampshire. I don't want to, of course, create any bad blood. He would actually continue to move forward as we go up the inside of the Road America winner of Austin Cindric. We will be battling him, of course, in the playoffs, but 4 to go up the inside of McDowell. Logano continues to lead. Can he hold off Chastain and Byron, who run second and third currently, to get his first win on the season? We've only seen Penske win one time, and that was with Cindric, and now they're trying to get their second win. We clear McDowell up to P15, 2 laps to go. Hemrick continuing to run down the cars in front of him. He's trying to get to the top 10. He's going to run out of time. White flag in the air for the Shell Pennzoil machine of Joey Logano. The 2-tire call for Bubba Wallace and Larson got them towards the top 10, but not good enough to race for the victory. P15, maybe 14th if Bell continues to do that right there. Up the track he goes. Logano leads the way into 3 and 4. Nobody's touching the 22, and now certainly official that no one can get to him. The caution comes out, and that ends the race about a quarter of a lap early for the 22. Logano, his first win of the season in Richmond as a caution flies on the final lap. P15 for us. You know, this wasn't our night. Chastain ends up second. How about Gregson in the top 5? Bowman top 5. Suarez P6. Bubba Wallace P7 as well, as you see the rest of the finishing order. And of course, we'll take a look at the standings. And finally, to end the episode, we'll take a look at the Busch Light Bracket Challenge, the updated bracket. And you can let me know in the comments below if your bracket's already destroyed or not. You see the standings there. Keep in mind, Vargas should be out of the playoffs by the time we get to playoff time. So McDowell is actually the last one in. So he's in by about 27 points over Ty Gibbs. The bracket challenge, let's take a look. We have the first bit of this bracket where Larson will move on against his teammate of Byron next episode in Michigan. Priest will be going up against myself. Truex versus Bell. Buescher versus Chastain. Nothing really surprising or out of the ordinary to start things off outside of the obvious, with the 9 going out instead of Ryan Priest being eliminated. And here's the other half of the bracket where Hamlin goes out against Austin Dillon. That was a bit of a surprise, and really the only one, maybe outside of Suarez beating Gibbs. I didn't see that one coming either. I'd be shocked with over 100 brackets entered, with Elliott going out and Hamlin going out. I'd be surprised if we have 5 brackets still left that are accurate. Let me know down below what your bracket looks like. I'll see you guys next time in Michigan. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.